Hey, folks, welcome to the Sunday live stream. Just remember, bones heal, chicks dig scars, and glory is forever. I am joined by my good friend, the Beckloff. How are you doing, brother?
How's it going?
I'm doing frickin' excellent, actually. And we promise not to have a 30 years war again. We've got
I'll behave.
Matt Forney. How are you doing today?
I'm doing good. I'm Switzerland in all this, actually, so.
We've got Billy the Wizard, Billy the Conqueror. How are you doing, brother?
Oh, I'm doing good. I guess I am France, given my profile pic.
And, of course, Luke, doing his excellent job with the graphics. Thank you for being here, brother.
Always glad to help.
So, okay, so, what am I on right now? I'm on, what's it, Trapazine or something like that? Yeah, I'm on some opiates. I'll be honest. I find whiskey is a far better painkiller.
But is Trapazine gay?
No.
Took you a minute, didn't it?
Some sort of opiate they gave me. Yes, guys, I was in a little bit of a fight. I'm in a cast right now. And, yeah, I suppose in the pics on Twitter. Time to give you the full story of how this fight happened. So, yeah, I just got home from the gym. And I've been taking care of the downstairs neighbor dog. Now, I've mentioned before that she has a very sweet dog. It's a Malamute, about 130 pounds. And it and my German Shepherd space dog absolutely hate one another. All right? And just before we go any further, let me say the bylaw was here. Bylaw examined both animals. There's no charges. There's nothing. The dogs are fine. All right? They're not vicious animals. They just really, really hate one another. And so I got home, and I guess there was a screw prevented the door from closing properly, which I didn't notice. I go downstairs to take the Malamute out. Malamute's in the backyard, and what happens next? Frickin' space dog wanders into the yard. They look at each other for about a second and a half, and then both just pounce. Absolute viciousness. The Malamute has Space Dog's ear, and she's trying to rip it off. And Space Dog, I was worried she was actually getting into the eyeball. She, grabbed the skin above the eyeball, and the Malamute is, tugging it viciously. The Malamute was okay, it turned out, but I was worried she blinded the Malamute. And so immediately, I jump in there, and, I'm trying to pry their jaws off one another, which is when I broke two fingers. The Malamute basically wasn't trying to bite me. The Malamute likes me. They both like me. But the Malamute gets my fingers in its mouth and it's just going to town, and I'm trying to pry it open. I get them out, and one of my fingers is sagging. At first, I hope it's just a chunk of skin got torn off, and that's what's flapping around. No, it's the whole damn finger flapping around. Doesn't faze me. I initially start pulling Space Dog back towards the door to my place. And she struggles out of her necklace, her collar, and goes straight back to the fight. So now I'm diving in. I manage to tackle Space Dog right up against the base of the stairs. And I'm covering her body with mine so the Malamute can't get at her. And, it's like one of those MMA fights from the olden days where the two guys would just sit on the floor hugging each other, and every minute or so, they'd punch the other one in the kidney. That's what I'm doing. I've got Space Dog tackled. I'm breathing. I'm exhausted at this point, and I've lost a lot of blood. And Space Dog's trying to get out so she can bite the Malamute. The Malamute's trying to get past so she can bite Space Dog. And every minute or so, I pick up Space Dog, I throw her up a stair, and then pounce on her again and hold her down. At one point, she shifts while I'm trying to throw her, so I actually smack my face into the cement about 20 miles per hour. And I wound up having a big bruise that made me look like I was part Ferengi. Seriously, it was 6 inches across. And Finally, I grab her, I throw her inside, pull the door closed behind me, and I just fall back. It still won't close, right? So I just fall back against it, just dripping blood off of both arms and my face. And my buddy was visiting. He didn't hear my calls for help until the last minute. Because if somebody else had been there, you just grab the two collars, you pull them apart. Not that bad, right? But here I have 240 pounds of dog, and I only weigh 205, and I'm trying to separate these two fuckers that are just going for blood. And you know what, Luke, you actually got a picture that my buddy took right as the ambulance arrived.
And that was the story of how Davis's balls grew 3 times that day.
Oh, geez, guys, I felt so fucking awesome after this. Yeah, here's the thing. There are so few opportunities these days for a man to test his mettle. And I just realized I misspelt it in the description. Mettle is how it's spelled. There's so few opportunities for that. Because most times, I missed Jungle Asian breaking into my place by half an hour. And I'm kind of glad I missed him, because if I'd caught him, he'd be dead and I'd have to deal with the dead body, and I might get charged for that. Right? Like, you get into a fight with somebody outside the bar, either you get charged for assault or you get charged for manslaughter because you bounced his head off the cement and it cracked open. These days we are so coddled and safe, and there's so much litigiousness that's almost never right to fight. All right, and so the smart, sane person backs away from most fights because it's just not worth it. Only an idiot would fight over that. But with this, it was completely right. And even with 2 broken fingers, I still managed to wrestle an angry German Shepherd into the house.
2 broken fingers? I thought it was just the one.
First and second, both of them are broken. Just the middle one's really broken.
On your left or right hand?
Left hand.
Oh, good. You're right-handed, so.
Thank you. Dashing Road sends $5, and beat those bitches harder next time. Yeah, I think Space Dog had the decency to feel at least a little bit bad for everything that happened. But yeah, the hands healing up nice. It was... Oh, God, Luke, could you play that clip I sent you? Like the surgery, guys, the surgery was the worst part.
Yes. Hey, thanks, Doc. Oh, man. You would not believe how much this hurts.
That was the surgery. The surgery hurt more than the injuries, okay? And the surgery was a day afterwards. So, but now I'm actually pretty good. I think I'm going to kick the opiates probably over the next few days and just stick to whiskey for the painkiller effects. And honestly, this whole thing, it's kind of a sign from God. Like, first of all, it was a wonderful opportunity. I now know that broken fingers don't stop me from fighting. I know that about myself. It's something I believed about myself, but now I know it as a matter of fact. But also, I'll tell you what, guys, the construction gigs have been so anemic this summer that it's like I'm making just enough money to keep me doing it, but really not enough money to get me ahead. So this is God's way of saying, you know what, Davis, drop this stupid thing. You need to be making money in other places. And I'll tell you one thing I'm kind of thinking about, I'm kind of noticing right now, is that the whole internet blood sports, it was like an old growth forest being burned down. A whole bunch of BS got taken care of by all of that. And so now, well, we'll see. Maybe I'm going to put together some really good videos that go viral. We'll just see. And maybe you guys will see what I'm doing and say, you know what, he deserves $1 on Patreon. Or free starter. I'm gonna start up a second, an alternative to Patreon for you guys as well. So yeah, this is guys. I'm feeling absolutely great. Thank you to everybody that expressed well wishes. I know that somebody performed a mass for me. Thank you very much to that person. And I did have my friend here, and he helped take care of me, drive me back and forth to emergency. I really appreciated him doing all of that. So yeah, things are actually going really, really well. So with that said, on to the live stream itself. Let's see. We had a question before the stream even started. My take on QAnon. It could be either way. QAnon could be somebody within the Trump organization. It could also be somebody in the journalist establishment pretending to be somebody in the Trump organization that just has access to stuff before it hits the news.
It could also be some fat piece of fuck roll, some basement.
Yeah, exactly. Q has gotten a lot of stuff right. But it's, yeah, you're never going to have quite enough evidence either way. So we'll see how it all goes. It does seem like Trump has finally organized things in his cabinet to the point where he can get things done. And really, he's doing the best job that anybody could do, given the reality of people out there. I don't know, Beckloff, Billy, you got any takes on this?
I think QAnon's probably full of shit.
I
I think he's getting some stuff right just because it's some obvious stuff, and when you throw out enough things, you're bound to get things right. But I don't really pay attention to QAnon.
QAnon is a massive distraction.
Yeah, I never actually haven't heard of QAnon before, so I'm not familiar with
Like
this.
the first few drops from QAnon were legit. Like that probably did come from an insider, but everything else since then has just been pure misdirection and speculation.
Oh, so is QAnon like WikiLeaks, as in he's just leaking information?
That's the
QAnon,
idea.
QAnon wishes he was WikiLeaks.
Okay.
The only thing if by leaking information you mean leaking drips of bullshit, then yes, that's QAnon.
So he's like a less popular Alex Jones, kind of.
More or less.
Yeah, but
People
Alex
think
Jones
it's so
is-
significant.
But I'm
Alex
subscribed.
Jones has a way better track record.
Oh yeah, I think Alex Jones has some really good ideas. It's just he sometimes gets a little over the top with some of his theories.
I think the sad thing is Alex Jones is. I wish Alex Jones was less right.
Yeah, well, with how extreme people get, you get he tends to be more truthful than he is wrong.
Q just draws all these patterns, and it's up to you to interpret his cryptic speech. So I've never directly I've read the stuff he's posted, but it's like, yeah, I'm not going to figure out what the hell that means.
His face name's Q. Kind of reminds me of the Question, that comic book character from DC.
Supposedly it has something to do with Q level clearance,
Oh, okay.
which I don't know. I don't know. But the fact is, you know what? We're just entering an era, and this is a quote from that movie Sicario, where the wolves rule. You know, if 2/3 of Americans want to stick poison up their nose, the best thing we can do is mitigate the fallout.
Yeah, someone in the chat says it's probably Baked Alaska.
No, I believe it's pronounced Blacked Alaska now.
Oh, yeah, because he's married to like an Indian lady, I think.
Married. He wishes he was married.
Dashing Rogue sends $2 and I believe what he was typing was save the drugs for your bug out bag. Well, exactly. Like if I don't need to use all of these, all of the painkillers, I won't. I will use all of the, what are they? The antibiotics. Like I'm using that appropriately because you don't want superbugs developing. But yeah, if I can get away with not using the opioids, I'll be honest, I don't even get that much of an effect from them, really. So I take them when I leave the house because I don't want to be crippled with pain when I'm out. But if I'm just sitting around home, then it's, whatever.
Yeah, bad idea to have a hand cramp while you're driving.
Well, just, you know what, pain, like too much pain, it gives you tunnel vision. It is such a distraction that, yeah, you really don't want to be suffering too much pain while you're driving. But, there's an article I linked below. And I thought this was very interesting. It's by Jim at Jim's blog. And it's titled, When the West Started Losing Wars. So I'm just going to read a little bit of this to you. The Victorian theory that women were angels, therefore no coercion was needed against their natural saintly nature, only against demonic males who make saintly women do bad things, led to an intolerable flood of bastards and women giving birth in the rain in dark alleys, which in turn led to Oliver Twist and Les Miserables, which brought us the welfare state and the replacement of the nuclear family with child support. As people in the 18th century were aware, people need marriage in order to reproduce, and marriage needs coercion to make it stick. And the primary victims of this coercion need to be women, otherwise they will have sex with one man, then sex with another, making it difficult and unpleasant to father children. Similarly, white man's burden and la haute mission civilisatrice was the death of colonialism. It led the British general who was invading Afghanistan to believe he was doing Afghans a favor, and if he was sufficiently nice to them, they would throw flowers at his troops. So he forbade his troops to take necessary measures for self-defense, and as a result, he and his troops died. Now, it goes on for quite a bit here, but this part really stood out towards the end. The East India Company seems to have been more popular when they were pirates and bandits than when they were pious do-gooders. No one seemed to appreciate the East India Company doing good things to them at gunpoint. The ridiculous part of White Man's Burden was the striking ingratitude of the supposed beneficiaries, resembling the striking ingratitude of Middle Easterners towards meddlings by President Bush and Obama in the Middle East. And I just really liked this post. And I was thinking about it in the terms of Christian morality. Oh, and by the way, we got a super chat from Megan McDonald, $2. Says Baked Alaska has started hitting on 13-year-olds at Comic-Con? Seriously?
Yeah, I saw the clip.
Oh, can we play this?
I don't know.
If you can find it for Luke.
May not be a good idea. You might get strike for bullying.
You know, actually, yeah, let's not. Did she look 13?
I can say it was probably an honest mistake.
Okay, let's not pile on to him. I mean,
I'm quite sure Baked Alaska is a firm believer in if there's grass on the field, play ball. In part because he doesn't really have a choice.
The only saving grace of that belief is the men that believe that usually can't get laid anyway.
Well, there you have Baked Alaska.
Yeah, exactly. I trust Baked Alaska around my kids. Not because I don't think he wouldn't do anything, but because I don't think he could.
Yeah.
Anyway, I think about this in terms of Christian morality and this simpering niceness that we've had. And Jim isolates it to the 19th century as when it all started. Well, I think that's, again, it doesn't matter what started it, but that's when it really became prevalent. This is Nietzsche saying that God is dead and we have killed him because people started believing in niceness. And how much better off you are just being an asshole. You know, I was having a conversation with my married buddy, and we're just talking about how you have to be mean to women. And it's like he has trouble coming up with stuff to yell at his wife about because she's so awesome. But he has to yell at her because it makes her vagine tingle. It's like that classic tweet from that girl where he yells at me, my brain, sad face, my pussy, happy face.
The one tweet where it's like, you know, girls be acting all tough until you yell back, and then they're either sad or wet or both.
Women enjoy drama, guys. And you honestly yelling, honey, get in the fucking car. We don't need it. Get in the fucking car. We're leaving.
Yeah, I wonder if a lot of women watch internet blood sports since that's mostly drama.
That might be it. That might be it.
Yeah, especially after watching how Crown T stream, that was some real insane drama from Aiden Paladin, where she is literally in tears.
Really?
What happened with Crowd again?
Oh,
do it now.
It was. I learned about this from Mr. Midacor's video they did on Crown T. His whole Tales of Trout saga. And this was right after he got exposed. He went on one of Andy Wartsky's streams, and Aiden Paladin was there, and she was in tears for a good amount of the stream.
Over what?
The fact that apparently she was on Crown T's supposed hit list on his Discord server, so she felt very betrayed by him.
Oh, what, she used to be friends with him?
Apparently, she used to look up to him. That's what she said. Yeah.
Yeah, she used to reference his videos in her stuff.
Yeah, just watch the Andy Wartsky stream. It's on YouTube. It's she is really distressed and upset in that stream.
Well, here, she called herself a paladin, and what you call yourself is what you become. So she is coming towards the light, like it or not. Oh, God, the drama of it all. You know what? It's like a workplace. It's like a good masculine workplace when shit needs to get done, and the boss is yelling at people. You know, it's actually kind of comforting, isn't it, guys? When your boss is like, all right, guys, you go do that, you go do that, you panic, everybody else follow me. It's actually kind of comforting when a boss does that because things are in control. You know, he's not yelling at you and making fun of you and belittling you. He's yelling to get shit done. And you kind of have to do that as a husband. Again, with being a jerk, like Jim's talking about in this article, how it used to be like if you played ball, the East India Company supported you. If you didn't, they'd come smack you against the wall a few times and say, hey, play ball next time. Whereas modern foreign policy is all about nation building. You know, like the Obama regime took down Libya. Who was the Libya? Gaddafi. Gaddafi played ball. You're supposed to play ball with the people that play ball as opposed to go on adventurous wars to spread social justice.
Yeah, and look where social justice got us now. Fucking migrants everywhere.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I've always had this theory that socialism as the economic system always reminded me of a very feminine type of ideology where it's kind of like economic motherhood. So it kind of makes sense why the whole migrant crisis would be a thing under these very socialistic or social democracy style systems.
Man, who's the bitch that made this photo? Once again, feminism is just making a poor imitation of the masculine. You know, like they don't even have her wearing a feminine outfit because a feminine outfit is innately sexy. It is innately objectifying. So they have to put her into a shirt and tie as if she's a man. Like this is pure idiocy. Good Lord, feminism.
A shirt and tie that doesn't fit too. Like it looks like she's wearing his shirt and tie.
Let's see. Glon sends $2 and says, "Use your one hand to write a terror story. Get well."
Yes,
Yeah.
that is Terror House Magazine, and Glon is my co-editor. Hey, Glon.
Yeah, there's going to be.
By the way, visit terrorhousemag.com and twitter.com/terrorhousemag.
It's good stuff, guys. Oh, this is so edgy, isn't it?
Wait, is that a Hardee's? Is that a real Hardee's fucking ad?
I think they're just inverted from old pictures.
Yeah, it might be photoshopped.
Here's the thing. After watching my girlfriend try and load a 9mm mag. Yeah, you mean a woman can open it? Ladies, you still can't open the pickle jar. All those studies classes.
Plus,
In
there's
all
this.
fairness, I have no doubt believing the soy boy in that picture has trouble opening ketchup.
Well, I mean, there's the recent article from The Guardian about the woman who was all like, I stopped working out because Trump was elected president. Now I can't open jars. I'm not shitting you. That's a real story from The Guardian.
Did you see the one where the guy in social media gets a fucking bottle opener to open up his Soylent bottles?
What? Wait. I'm not sure what I should be more shocked at. The fact that you can't open a bottle open Soylent, or the fact that Soylent exists.
Yeah, there's like soy drinks. I'm not making that part up. I can't vouch for the authenticity of the other thing because you know how stuff gets, it
was on
mutated on 4chan.
It was on Goodbye America in a photo, and the caption said something like "soy bottle opener" or "Chad cock girth caliper."
Soon we'll find out that Soylent is made from the crushed foreskins of teenage boys.
Well, did you hear that? Because of a lot of the protectionist stuff Trump's putting in, there's going to be a big old tariff on all the soy coming out of China.
Oh, good.
There's going to be less soy in America. Trump's winning again.
Yeah, because I mean, soy. The reason why soy is kind of a thing is just because it's a cheap filler in foods, just like how high fructose corn syrup was made to replace like regular sugar.
Yep.
Because soy's in like everything.
Disastrous. Oh yeah, you look everything is fucking corn and soy right now. You look at everything, it's just
Oh, this is why I won't shop at Walmart. Everything at Walmart has corn syrup in it. Everything aside from the vegetables, the raw vegetables, everything else had corn syrup added to it.
Yeah, that's probably why my grandparents are in their 90s now, and they grew up in like the 1920s.
Yeah, because they weren't eating just soy and corn and everything.
Oh
It's
yeah,
like, it doesn't matter what you buy. It's all soy and corn. It just
my grandfather smoked till he was 40 and heavily drank, and he's still alive and in pretty good health.
Oh God, this.
I mean, there's certain things you expect it in. Say you get a bottle of some sort of Asian style salad dressing. You think, okay, there's probably soy in that. There's a lot of soy in Asian food, the soy sauce and shit like that. But then you get a bottle of like Italian. It's like, why the fuck is there soy in this?
You go and get the olive oil expensive mayonnaise, and the number one ingredient is soy oil.
Yeah, it's like that's not the same thing. Why is that in here? I wanted olive oil mayonnaise.
And incidentally, all the soy they eat in Asia is fermented soy. Okay, they don't eat raw soy like we do here, and the fermentation destroys the phytoestrogens, as I understand it. So, I mean, guys, go knock yourselves out with soy sauce. It's fermented.
even in Asia, they don't fucking put it in absolutely everything. I mean, nobody is getting no soy boys are the way they are because they eat too much Chinese food. It's because it's in everything. You can't drink a fucking iced tea without some soy additive in it.
Real Thing says, I prefer goy sauce.
Made from real goys.
Oy vey.
The amount of freaks walking around. Again, guys, we need to be the salt of the earth. Like, some people are sane, some people are waking up. You got to be amongst those people, not these misshapen, hideous wrecks that are blighting our cities. Speaking of blights upon the countenance of the Lord, Luke, you were saying something about the kids' drag team.
Oh yes, there's a new cartoon show that you've mentioned called Drag Tots. Let me see if I can get a picture for you.
Yeah, Drag Tots is a superhero team of toddlers that get into drag to be superheroes.
That might be what killed Steve Ditko the other day. Maybe he saw this and he blew his own brains out. And they're trying to.
Yeah, that's actually interesting because I had no idea that Steve Ditko was like an objectivist and was into Ayn Rand until someone did a video about him.
Oh yeah, you should read the original 60s question stories he did. They're fantastic.
Oh yeah, I also want to read Mr. A because Mr. A is pretty cool too.
Yep.
Yeah, that disembodied unicorn head is like a major player. It's like a major character in the show. Like, I can't tell if it's a show for kids or Adult Swim audiences.
Yeah, this kind of seems like it would be really funny if it was on Adult Swim and like made to like mock the fucking LGBTQ elemental P thing.
Yeah, but it's funny because didn't people say like drag was not meant to be like an LGBT thing?
Oh, they can't decide anymore. I think it was somewhere out in Europe, I believe. There was a pride parade in which the lesbians and the trannies went to war with each other.
These are the voice actors.
The Trump's the voice actor?
No, these guys, they're very anti-Trump.
What the fuck is that?
So they're all guys.
Yeah, so I don't think they're mocking drag queens.
That's what RuPaul looks like when he's not a drag queen? I didn't know he was a praying mantis. And
I can't imagine there's a huge audience of drag queens that want to see a show about shitty, childish drag queen, whatever bullshit this is.
Oh,
so,
they even have a black one dressed like the Statue of Liberty.
So
we was queens.
So which channel is this coming on, or is this an internet show?
I think it's only streaming on RuPaul's
Did the one
channel.
just get dragged to hell? Look, back that up. One of them just got dragged to hell. One of them just got dragged down.
I think it's symbolic of him dying by saying something stupid. I don't know.
Well, I
And
mean,
she went to hell.
Well, since it's online, if it's an online streaming thing, then it's to be expected that they're going to have shows like this, just because, you know, online you don't have to worry as much about censorship, especially if it's an agenda that a huge bunch of people support.
Oh my god!
As you can see from the views and the thumbs up.
One of them went
And of
to
course,
hell.
it's done in that shitty Cal Art style.
Oh fuck! Don't get me started on CalArts again.
CalArts is better than this. This is like 90s photo. This is 90s Flash animation.
We were talking on the show yesterday. So a bunch of some graduate from CalArts was talking about how everyone at the CalArts animation studio, our animation school, rolls their eyes at Don Bluth. I'm like, are you fucking serious?
Wait, they roll their eyes at Don Bluth?
Yes.
What?
Yeah, that's how bad thing. See, it isn't just that they push all this leftist shit. They hate quality. These leftists just hate quality. They hate the beautiful because it reminds them they are ugly.
Yeah, because like Don Bluth, he's like the closest person to rivaling Disney in terms of animation quality and that hand-drawn style.
Yeah, Don Bluth's a fucking legend in the industry, and
These
people who turn Thundercats into Steven Universe think they're better than him.
Yeah, it's like it's almost like watching immaturity like manifest itself in animation.
I love the Freudian slip that one of them died and went to hell in the middle of that fucking.
I didn't catch that the first time. They know they don't belong in heaven.
I'm surprised Cenobites didn't come and drag it down.
I wouldn't be surprised if there are Cenobites on the show.
I think the people making the show are Cenobites. I'm coming to the conclusion maybe when there's no, what was the tagline in the one zombie movie? When there's no more room in hell, the dead will walk the earth. When there's no more room in hell, the Cenobites will walk the earth.
Yeah, it's funny enough. It's like this art style is like a very poorly done, like Powerpuff Girls like type of style.
It actually reminds me of the art styles used in the Elsagate videos.
Oh, it does, doesn't it?
God.
Oh man, it's like Spider-Man. It should be fucking Elsa while the Joker jerks off in the background. Like that'll be on season 3.
Yeah, by the way, are you guys still subscribed to that Investigating YouTube channel? Because they put out a video a couple days ago talking about how pedophiles are now targeting like little kids who are doing YouTube live streams.
I didn't catch that, but yeah, I'm not surprised.
It was a very specific video, but they're just like a general overview of how easy it is for pedophiles to groom kids.
Yeah, guys, keep your kids off the internet.
Don't give them a fucking tablet.
I never thought I'd be one of those people who's like, if I had kids, I wouldn't have cable and I'd censor the internet. But man, I would be now.
It's kind of too late. Most people I know of kids, their kids are all on the computers and tablets and smartphones.
Mine fucking wouldn't be. We'll go live in the woods before that fucking happens.
Yeah, exactly. My kids are going to be playing in the hills, hunting lizards.
I mean, we'll have a TV and we'll be watching shows that I pick out on DVD that I know are okay.
Yeah, mostly black and white.
But
well, if you're unless you're away from civilization, they're gonna get peer pressure to follow the crowd and stuff.
Homeschool.
Oh yeah, I'd homeschool. The only way I'd even consider letting a kid go to public school is once you're at the high school level.
I actually have been homeschooled, and there are actually still a lot of progressives in the homeschool community. So
yeah, you're gonna catch some of it, but you gotta admit. I mean, I don't want to shelter them to the point where once they do encounter it, they can't deal with it. But you can't be like letting kids watch the shows about soy and lesbians all the time.
Well, yeah, you just gotta be careful. Otherwise, again, once they get that rebellious age, they're gonna give you a middle finger and then just tell you to go fuck yourself and then rebel.
Do it correctly.
Yeah.
Okay? Like, listen, there's dangers. Here's one of the dangers you need to look out for. And here's why it's bad.
Yeah, like basically like being real with them and I guess explaining to them, the potential repercussions and the side effects of all this crazy stuff. I think will make them understand better than just telling them no, they can't do it and not getting explanation.
Yeah, you don't want to be too. I actually feel like we were talking about this on my show last night where I said in some regards I feel like the religious right of the 80s is almost to blame for this, in that they cried wolf so many times that now, when you're crying about how Dungeons and Dragons is the devil, then nobody takes you seriously anymore. And next thing you know, you actually do have lesbians on fucking kids shows.
It's kind of like
complain about the magic in Harry Potter when the magic is the least of your worries in that movie.
Yeah, you complain about the wrong things, you overreact, and you cry wolf too many times, and then nobody takes it seriously anymore. And next thing you know, RuPaul is entertaining your children.
Well, fun fact: the Catholic Church didn't have too much of a problem with Harry Potter.
But I guess there's also the inverse of that, because when we don't have things that are deliberately trying to brainwash your kids, you just have stuff that it bores your kids. Like I just discovered this new cartoon show called Summer Camp Island, where basically the premise is the kids go to the summer camp, and it turns out the whole thing's like a magical place like Hogwarts. And the whole focus is not on the magical events. Oh no, it's primarily based on the kids' anxiety disorder.
Huh.
And the art style looks very similar to Adventure Time.
God, they all look autistic.
Yeah, that's why I know so about cartoons today.
And the main characters, like here's the main character right here, like the guy, and that's his best friend, the girl, and there's like a dynamic. I guess there's also like originally in the pilot there's like a friendship dynamic with another like cool kid, but I guess they kind of pushed that aside.
Burn CalArts to the ground. Burn it to the ground.
Popped up on SSRIs.
But yeah, have you seen those comparison images where they show like the new Thundercats cartoon and like the original Thundercats cartoon, just to see just how different the art style is?
Ouch. There's this one YouTuber I watch, Teddy Rubskin, where he like reviews old games and stuff, and he does it as a little teddy bear, like with this thick, Brooklyn accent kind of thing, and or maybe it's Chicago accent, I can't tell.
Everything like Uncle Bad Touch.
But he did a video where he was like, people were telling me I should respond to the new Thundercats. I haven't seen it yet, but it's fucking Thundercats. How bad can it be?
Just like, go back 2 seconds, Luke, to that horse. Isn't that the retarded horse?
That is the retarded horse from Family Guy.
Dum, dum, pisses itself. That's a retarded horse. It's a chromosome.
But yeah, the guy was like, it's Thundercats. How bad can it be? And then like 2 seconds of it, he goes, oh my God, what the fuck is this?
Well, we saw the interview with the creator of the new series. He's got a little man bun. He's got a little like tree in the back of his head held together with a girly band.
Well, you know why he has a tree on the top of his head? Because a lot of seeds been put in his mouth.
Well, isn't the man bun just that thing for people who are like obsessed with Japanese culture or something like that?
I don't know. I've seen a couple of guys with very pretty beards sporting them, and I just don't want to ask them. I don't want to go up to them and engage with them.
Someone in the chat said apparently Al Gore's wife started a panic over heavy metal.
I know she had a big panic over rap. I didn't know she was going after metal, but that wouldn't surprise me.
So his wife starts a panic over music, and he starts a panic over the environment. I mean, when you look at the studies and stuff, even if the global warming alarmist was actually true, once human beings die off, the planet will just go back to normal after like 500 years.
And you never hear the environmentalists talk about declining bee populations, which is a real problem. I guess because the solution to that isn't socialism.
Yeah, actually, with
the declining bee populations, what they did was they tried to hybridize an African bee with a honeybee, and they created like a killer bee that's been terrorizing people.
Oh, that's an old thing they did like 100 years ago. Good Lord, he has such a gay haircut.
What the fuck was anyone like? Hey, Thundercats? What if everyone was Snarf?
Yeah.
God, I even hated Snarf as a kid. I hated the cute characters as a kid.
But
you watch these shows because you aspire to be the badass hero in them, not Snarf.
Yeah, it's like, I mean, why does the animation have to be so piss poorly done and stuff? Why not just, at least give it to the Koreans to make a nice animation?
I watched Star Trek because Captain Picard was awesome, not Wesley.
Shut up, Wesley.
Shut up, Wesley.
Well, I mean, if you look at Will Wheaton's become, then it's Campbell used that phrase to tell him to shut up.
He gets mad when people do that too. It's hilarious.
Yeah.
A couple of years ago, he was all like, I will start blocking people who tell me to shut up, Wesley. So I replied to him. This is when I was still on Twitter. So I replied to that like, how about shut up, faggot?
Didn't Patrick Stewart actually tweet that back at him after he said that? Like, shut up, Wesley.
Patrick Stewart's such an asshole. So didn't Will Wheaton get accused of #MeToo?
I don't know, but that really would not surprise me at all.
Because I'm pretty sure that, I'll tell you who did. Prime Minister Justin Trudeau.
Yes, that one.
It's funny. Like a couple weeks ago, for fun, I wrote this like little short story where it's like all these dystopian predictions about the future, and one of the predictions was that Justin Trudeau would be sentenced to death for calling a woman honey 10 years ago, and then he would tearfully accept it while pissing his pants.
Not too far from the truth.
Because you know that if like Justin Trudeau or anyone else, these people were ever like sentenced to death for like the various crimes they committed, they would like go to the gallows like screaming, crying, shitting themselves, begging for mercy. There'd be no stoicism to it at all.
Super chat from Dashing Rogue sends $5 and says the reboot of Thundercats looks like SD Gundam. I haven't seen Gundam, so
My favorite thing is when somebody said Tumblr cats, soy.
Yeah.
Oh, God. See, Trudeau has been on the feminist bandwagon from day one. He made a huge point out of the fact that half of his cabinet is female, right? Because we all know that women are just as prone to getting into politics as men. So obviously all those women are qualified.
Well, you can kind of tell he's a bit of a creeper given how he talks.
Oh, good. He's a nice guy. Nice guys are always creepers.
Yeah, he's like what?
He's like
people call him like a.
He's like the white Gian Gameshi.
Oh, I thought people call him like a poor man's Obama or something like that.
Well, no, Gian Gameshi was at least the top.
Good point.
So he's being hanged by his own petard. Good, I say. It's like you have thrown so many men under the bus with your hypocritical policies, with your lies, with your sucking up to women. Because we know, Justin, in your heart of hearts, you're a 12-year-old boy whose mom abandoned him because she is too busy banging every rapper and communist dictator she could find. And you just want mummy's love. And you're throwing the entire fucking country under the bus for mummy's love because you got all the girlies to vote for you because you're cute and you're Justin Bieber and whatever. And you on all the soy boys in this country voted for you because they heard about Trudeau before and they're stupid. And you just want mummy's love. What is good and just and right doesn't fucking matter. You know, one of my buddies has met him and he just can't hate the guy because he is such a nice guy. And I believe him. I believe, Justin, I believe that you're a very nice person. You need to hang. You need to be put to death for treason. Being nice is not being good. You are the Prime Minister of Canada, and you have betrayed this nation to the fucking Chinese. You have handed us over to corrupt Chinese businessmen who turn their own country people into slaves. You have handed us over. Fuck you, Trudeau. You're a traitor. I don't care how nice you are or that you just want mummy to love you. You are a filthy, disgusting traitor. God damn you, and God damn every Canadian that voted for you.
Trudeau is over party.
Isn't
David, put headphones in, damn it.
Can Trudeau count as a nice guy since he basically like intentionally blocks like refugee status for Christians in the Middle East?
Well, see, Christians are fucking evil, retrograde homophobes, so they don't count.
Yeah, but these are Middle Eastern Christians, so at least they bring some form of diversity to Canada.
Well, see, you're a Christian. If you're a Christian, it doesn't matter like who you are.
Yeah, you got to understand. See, the Middle Eastern Christians, they might be brown or black, but because they're Christians, they're not going to fuck his wife. so he doesn't want them to come over. He wants the one.
$2 super chat from Cynic and Cheap says, "It's surprising Justin hit on a woman, not a man." Yeah, a few people said, "Well, at least it was a woman." Thank God it was a woman.
Well, with a lot of Middle Easterners, I know a lot of Middle Easterners are actually pretty Caucasian in appearance. So some look darker.
Yeah, but he's not bringing those in. He's bringing in black and brown ones.
Yeah,
specifically to fuck his wife.
Oh, and could I also point out that Trudeau has been a strong advocate of abortion, and he still takes communion at the Catholic Church?
Well, yeah, see, he wants him to fuck his wife, but he doesn't want to have to raise the little bastard they make. So that's why he's a strong advocate for abortion.
Wait, is his wife actually going behind his back?
Behind his back? That's being generous.
There's a rumor that both bisexual swingers.
Okay.
Luke is shrinking his head.
Well, this is the current year.
I caught you doing that, Luke. That's funny. Oh, wait, no, you put that on a 12-year-old, but I see what you did now.
Wasn't there like a meme going around where apparently like someone compared Justin Trudeau's picture to like Fidel Castro before he grew the beard and stuff, and noticed how they look exactly alike?
Yeah, I think there might be something to that.
I can't really judge. I'm not very good at recognizing familial resemblance, so I can see it, but ask somebody with better eyes for that than
I think it's far more likely that he's Ted Kennedy's son.
We've got a bastard running the country, and you wonder why it's going down the drain? Bastards are either cruel or pathetic.
Yeah, isn't all of Justin Trudeau's support basically mainly came from like his dad's wealth or his dad's name?
Oh yeah, he's accomplished nothing. His dad was a scumbag communist sympathizer, but his dad was actually accomplished. Trudeau, he's a part-time ski instructor, part-time drama coach.
Which is kind of funny given how they're constantly like hating on Trump because he got inheritance from his dad.
And not Trudeau, who just been trust fund baby, accomplishes nothing.
It's almost like the left has no principles.
Almost, eh?
I really want someone to make a version of this for Trudeau.
This is the one video that won't flag us this week.
For the last 28 years, I have been a public opponent of the Catholic Church's teaching on abortion. Therefore, I self-identify as a very devout Catholic.
Sounds perfectly reasonable to me.
Now listen, I'm of the opinion that I believe in separation of church and state in the old European sense. That the king is there to enforce civil laws and the church is there to enforce moral laws. And an unborn child is not yet a citizen of the state. Let's put it this way. Over in Mexico, every single day, peasant children are having their flesh stripped off and their beating hearts torn from their chests because their father sided with the wrong drug dealing cartel. It's absolutely brutal what is going on in Mexico. But it's not my responsibility to go fix the Mexican problem. Okay, unless we declare a crusade, that's a Mexican problem. I'm not the Mexican police. And so when it comes to things like abortion, yes, it is murder. Do not have an abortion. But that's a moral law.
It's funny, someone suggested that like we should like make Mexico like another state in America.
No.
Well, I mean, if we made a state, then we could basically purge, all of the cartels and all of the corruption potentially.
Yeah, but then we're full of a bunch of Mexicans that are now citizens.
Yeah, but I mean, outside of the whole immigration thing, Mexicans are pretty conservative.
No, they are. They're violent and brutal.
Mexico City had gay marriage before like most of the U.S.
Oh, I didn't hear about that one.
They've got the legacy of the Aztecs.
Plus, if you actually there was a Swedish economist who broke it down. Latinos, on average, in the U.S. are more liberal than whites on everything, from gun control to abortion to everything. They have left wing. They're not socially conservative. They don't have family values. They are basically bog standard leftists in every way that matters. And consider that Mexico literally just elected a communist as president. No, I don't want them in my country.
Well, with this recent election, didn't they just kill a whole bunch of politicians?
I wish we could saw it off from the continent. I don't particularly want them in North America.
By the way, we've got a super chat from Cynic in Chief who says Trump should give a DNA test to Justin, not Warren. I'd be interested in seeing those results.
Did you ever hear that bit? It was one of the, I heard it on, I think, Kumite, but it was a while ago when they talked about when Sargon of Akkad got his 23andMe back. And they go through like all these things that he is, and they're like, and the remaining 37% was HIV positive.
Oh, so do we know if Sargon's black or not yet?
I thought it was part Indian.
He claims he's a quadroon, but the as with most things that came out of Sargon's mouth,
I thought he was an Arab. I thought he was Sargon of Kebab.
Well, the funny thing about the whole like Elizabeth Warren claiming to be Native American thing is that it's like, wasn't the joke is that like when you don't want to be associated as purely white, you just claim to be Native American because it's such a vague like bloodline that almost everyone shares.
Yeah, most whites in America, if you could trace your lineage back more than 100 years in this country, you have some Native in you.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I have a Native American blood too and stuff.
I know I do. I have at least one Algonquin ancestor, probably more.
There was a lot of daughters basically being sold to white men going on. Like a lot of Indians just sold their daughters.
Well, it's pretty pragmatic. The white men got the guns.
You know,
yeah, well, the funny thing is that people act like they slaughtered the Native Americans, but the reality is that 90% of them, I think, just died from the diseases we brought. And, you know, back then, no one really understood how disease and dermatologies work, so it's not really...
Well, in all fairness, there was that one time the United States government did it pretty purposefully. Here's some blankets.
Well, I was talking about before the United States existed. Like, most of them got killed off, like, pre-United States due to, like, the diseases, especially on the East Coast.
On the East Coast, and the land no land was taken, land was bought. Pilgrims had strong senses of property rights and all, and they always.
Yeah, I mean, also a lot of
if they got seller's remorse, that's not our problem.
Well, also a lot of tribes made deals with Europeans just because, because they wanted to have an advantage over their rival tribes. You know, they're always
the only real mistreatment of the natives you can point to is out in the West, and that was all at the hands of the federal government.
Well, and even there, what it all boils down to is that we had superior social technologies. You know, like the natives, yeah, they could buy guns from us, but we had all these institutions of property management, of property law, the hierarchy of family and society, and ultimately we had a more efficient civilization. And so we took it over. And it was not intentionally brutal on our part. It's just, this is what happens. In fact, the fact that we still have Native Americans, that we preserved reservations for them, shows our good intentions from the very earliest days.
Well, it kind of goes back to what you were discussing at the beginning. You know, people liked the East India Company more when it was raping and killing and looting people than when it was trying to help people. Well, a lot of these non-whites, basically, they respect white people more. The more brutal we are to them, they're like BPD women. You know, if you try to treat them nicely, they'll resent you for it. If you beat them and abuse them, they'll be like, "Yes, massa. Yes, massa. What can I do for you, massa?"
And you know, like, just again, think about people you like. You don't like people that are nice to you all the time. I hate those people. Like, do you want a landlord that's nice to you and always doing favors to you? No, it's creepy.
Yeah, what
you rent, you leave me alone.
Yeah, what some people don't understand about the Native Americans is that the Native Americans that the Europeans encountered were the ones who slaughtered other tribes that existed there, you know, before the Europeans got there. And then not to mention, since they immigrated to America from Asia, they also killed the humanoids that were there before they got there.
Oh, yeah, keep in mind, North America was originally settled by whites, and the Native Americans slaughtered them.
Did they prove that was a thing? I knew they were settled by other humanoids, but I didn't think that they were settled by Caucasians.
It's somewhat debated. They did have light skin, though.
Okay, I know that there's that new discovery that found that there's a European humanoid like Homo sapien that was around that wasn't from Africa. So they hinted at that Europeans may not have come from Africa.
There is so much. We really don't know that much about human evolution. There's a lot that's just supposed. Like, out of Africa is a hypothesis. It's not a theory.
Yeah.
There's no evidence for or against it. There is so much we have no idea.
Yeah, the problem.
The theories are that it's out of Australia.
Well, the problem is that a lot of people take theories and try to preach them like they're truth. It's like kind of like how science has basically become almost like a religion, where people are treating this stuff like the gospel and questioning it gets you deemed like a science denier and stuff.
Which is the opposite of science. Actual science is questioning things and looking for evidence.
Yeah, the problem is that Science Day is really being hit hard by these politically correct, agenda-driven ideologues, so that you can't really look into like anthropology and like if it's going to offend someone. Just the same thing with biology. Like, biology is also being hit hard by these like psychotic, far left activists. I mean, can ENIAC really kind of discuss the scientific reality behind race and all that stuff without being labeled a racist?
We've got Dashing Rogue joining us. How's it going, brother?
It's going fairly well. How are you? So I heard you got your ass kicked by a bunch of bitches.
No, I kicked their asses. It just cost me a couple of fingers.
Oh, shit.
That's the thing. I won.
And so you were fingering some bitches?
This is a perfect example of why non-lethal violence is so much harder than lethal violence. If I'd just been fighting two dogs, I would not have two broken fingers. I was trying to stop two dogs from fighting each other. Thus, I have two broken fingers.
Damn. Damn. That sucks.
I told the story at the beginning of the live stream. It was heroic. Not, I must say, not as heroic as the divers over in Thailand that are rescuing those kids right now. Last I heard, 4 kids are rescued. One of the SEAL members lost their lives doing it. Those guys are really fucking heroic.
I don't even know about those people.
Oh, some kids got trapped in a cave and the wet season came early, and so it's all flooded.
Well, that sucks.
Yeah, it's quite the rescue effort.
Oh.
I fought a couple of dogs.
Oh, yeah, I like this comment from Rab in the chat. He says, Neil deGrasse Tyson, Harris, Dawkins, Bill Nye, and many others promote scientism, not science.
Yep.
Exactly.
Excellent term coined by Theodore Beale, aka Vox Day. And Boogie sends a $2 super chat saying, they'll take theory, then make moral judgments. Actually, this goes back to the church and state thing. America says they have a separation of church and state, but they don't. Okay, the church is the state in America, where everything has to be a moral judgment from the state. So this is why everybody's clawing for the state. There's no willingness to say, you know what, this is the king's business. The king enforces the civil law. He keeps the king's peace. But he really doesn't care what you do aside from that. I don't want government enforcing moral laws. That's for the church to do.
Well, even then, it's for yourself to do. You have to morality at the end of the day is an individual matter. Ethics are a governmental matter, or even a organizational matter. So like it's unethical to kill kids because they have natural rights. Is it moral to kill a kid? Maybe if you're gonna die, right? If you're gonna die and the mother's like gonna lose her life or something like that, then it's okay. It's a moral decision. It's a personal decision, as opposed to, let's say, a ethical decision. Like, the ethics are the rule, morals are the exception to them to a certain degree, but they're also about personal governance.
That you cannot force morality.
Of course, because it has to be brought on from within.
Let's put it this way. Do you want to corporate? And corporations are our new feudal lords. I don't want corporations having opinions on sexual matters.
Absolutely.
As long as it doesn't interfere with the workday.
Yep.
Hey, Davis, I got a little bit of a story that might be fun to look at.
Oh, yeah? Does it involve fighting dogs?
No, but it involves a very, very vicious hate crime that we should all take very seriously.
Hate crimes. Hate crimes.
It's totally not bullshit. So I threw the link in the chat here for Luke to bring up. It's on Facebook. It's Saima Chowdhury of WXYZ. Saima News is her. Well, she reports on Residents in an apartment complex wake up to a hateful symbol sprayed on their door. 5 out of 7 doors were targeted on the side of the apartment building. We are told that 2 have been spared. The 2 were spared were white families. I asked them if this was done by thoughtless individuals, teens. Would this make this situation better? They said, still no, it's offensive. So, Luke, if you could throw it up, there's the hateful symbol that was spray painted on the door.
Is that a stick figure of Casper the Friendly Ghost?
I thought it was E.T. from the Atari game, but apparently they're claiming this is
like a breast flying lizard.
Oh God!
And she's had to have a bunch of updates because the comments are nothing but people calling it fake news and tell her to go eat a dick.
Michael J. Fox.
So the update here, we're at update 3, by the way. The other ones aren't saved. There is an individual I now have to block because he wished violence upon me. I don't like blocking people, but this is unacceptable. Feel free to continue to share your non-violent thoughts. If you have any questions, you can send me a PM. I will post why this is.
It's a sad stiska.
I will post why this is a news story because some did not understand why we covered it. 1, there are several incidents of vandalism in one complex. 2, it appears that the vandals were trying to draw a symbol that seems to be a swastika only on minority residents' doors. 3, this leaves them feeling easy and especially unsupported because the management company did not call the police. And the comments are fucking fantastic. Somebody says, "Hail Horter." Sig fail.
Sig fail.
Oh God.
What you doing there, Rabbi? Oh, somebody posted a picture of ET from the Atari.
Zig fail.
This is fantastic. You thought everybody was going to take this seriously. Look at the Down syndrome Nazi.
Jesus Christ.
Wait, where's the Down syndrome Nazi?
Scroll up. Oh, it's fantastic.
Oh, these people deserve what they get to them. Fuck.
Clayton Bigsby.
No, is it really a wonder that the EU is trying to censor memes now with Article 13?
Oh. Hillary. Uh-oh, look at Hillary confirmed Nazi. Well, this is very serious. Where I know we're all. I'm
gonna get on there and post one of the gifs of the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers during the salute.
Oh, jeez.
God.
So yeah, we should all be taking this very seriously. She actually accused somebody of threatening her because he said, like, I hope you die or something like that. And everybody commenting under it, like saying, wishing violence on someone is not a threat, you dumb gash.
Now the thing is, I don't know whether it was minorities doing this or actual white nationalists, because from what I've seen, they're both equally capable of being this stupid.
Oh, what have you seen that the white nationalists have done? I'd like to hear some stories about that.
I'm pretty sure it's
Charlottesville 2 is coming.
Oh yeah, I told you about that.
Electric Boogaloo.
The subtitle is Hail Horter.
Hail Horter.
What? There's going to be another rally in Charlottesville?
Yes, it's not going to be in Charlottesville. Unite the Right 2 is going to be in Washington, D.C. They couldn't get a permit for Charlottesville because Charlottesville is understandably sick of having neo-Nazis and communists brawling in their streets. So they're going to have it in Washington, D.C., a city in which Hillary Clinton won 91% of the vote in 2016, and in which every single member of the city council, as well as the mayor, are Democrats. Nothing could possibly go wrong.
And also a city crawling with intelligence agents that don't like troublemakers, period.
Yeah, see, I get this feeling, this is one of the reasons why a lot of people thought the whole, like, a Unite the Right was basically a setup to make supporters look bad.
Yeah. Again, I really think that we are seeing the culling happen. We really are seeing it before our eyes, The fucking white nationalists are becoming the modern day Crips and Bloods. If you look at like why Tukey Williams and what have you started the Crips. They originally started as for a protection force similar to the Black Panthers. And that's exactly what's happening. These people are basically Wiggers.
Well, let me ask you, how many of these guys listen to rap music on a regular basis? I don't, because it's filthy.
Well,
let me ask you this. How many of them actually had jobs and lives prior to this fucking Trump phenomenon? Every fucking time I see these people, like whether it be the Battle of Berkeley, Portland, or fucking Charlottesville, all the guys who like the right-wing media like Gavin McInnes and what have you put out there, they're all meatheads. They don't have a fucking life. They're either like you'd see them with a fucking 6-pack and a 40. They're not good. They're not necessarily bad people, but they're just
this way. If a couple of dogs were in an actual fight, they'd be running.
Yeah. It's fucking honestly, guys, I'd stay away from it if I were you. There is no glory in this fucking battle. Even I fought in Berkeley, and I honestly
what's insane is how people. Well, what's insane is how people act like white nationalism is suddenly come back and stuff when these people have been around for decades.
1980s, man.
Yeah,
and it's always losers that are looking for an identity.
Yeah,
which is sad. I mean, like, listen, I love Whitetopia. Okay, I love here in Canada. We still got a little bit. We're about 5 years behind America. Okay, so if you can find the occasional Whitetopia, and there's no security bars. There's nothing. Oh, look, there's everybody's honest.
Well, that's because it's too cold up there.
Oh, it's not going to last. We're destroying it. But, and thank you, Kaku, for the $2 super chat. Yeah, Europeans are suicidal, unfortunately, but these people are just as suicidal. And the leader, his name's Kessler. That's right, isn't it, Forney?
Yes, Kessler.
Kessler. So this is the same shit. This little shit was involved in Occupy Wall Street a few years ago. And let me remind you that when Occupy Wall Street started, as one of my friends, Justine Tunney, was one of the original people. And the original Occupy Wall Street was against the banks and the golden parachutes and the bailouts. It was largely apolitical. It was anti-bank. It was more of an anarchist movement. And then the progressive stack showed up. Kessler showed up and kicked Tunney out. All right? So Kessler fucked up Occupy Wall Street, and now he's fucking up the alt-right. And the dumb shits are following him into it.
So what is Kessler's belief then? Has he always been like a white nationalist, or is he just like causing problems?
What is his full name?
I think, is this a picture of him?
This is James Kessler, correct?
Jason Kessler, yeah.
Yeah, Jason Kessler, yes.
Look at those disgust folds around his nasal labia. Like, look, is he a homosexual? Is this confirmed?
Well, I don't know if he has no known female relations, so.
I heard it was disgust folds, and the eyes are tilting down. I wouldn't trust this guy around children.
I heard he was spray painting swastikas on people's doors recently.
You know, I think you might be right about that. I do recall seeing this guy buy white paint at a fucking Home Depot. Yeah.
He was all screaming, "Hail Horter."
Oh, Jesus. Why is he looks like that kid from The Sixth Sense. The guy who never grew up. You know, I See Dead People, that guy. He looks just like him. Same eyes. I know that guy's name.
He sees black people.
Yes. See if I can look up that fucking character's name. He does. Oh, what the hell is his name?
No, those aren't smile lines. Those are disgust lines. Like, wrinkle your nose upward, folks. Like you just smelled something disgusting.
Why does he always have the same smug expression in every single picture? That same vacant expression of like, nothing going on upstairs, buddy.
The moral superiority type
of. He looks like he just ripped a really bad fart and everyone's reacting to it, and he's trying to act like it wasn't him.
This is the guy that helped destroy Occupy Wall Street and who's helping destroy the alt-right.
So what was he doing in Occupy Wall Street then?
I'm not sure exactly. He was one of the leaders. But again, the progressive stack took over Occupy Wall Street and bit by bit pushed out the original founders of it. And it turned it into a complete joke shit show where it like clapping and drum circles, and the person with the least privilege gets to speak. That sort of nonsense.
So was this like how long before? Like, was this before it became a thing around multiple cities?
Yeah, like it became a thing around multiple cities after the progressive stack took it over.
So how long was the progressive free? Because from the look of like all the initial talks about it, it seemed like the progressives were already controlling it from the get-go.
By the time you heard about it, the progressives had a firm grip on it already.
Okay, so basically it was like yet another media blackout until they took over.
Basically, like the original founders of Occupy Wall Street, they were just trying to do something good, and they were very naive about how vicious and manipulative liberals are. And like they all vaguely considered themselves liberal as well, but they were the honest liberals. I think, as Justine put it, we were all the anarchist tranny freaks of New York. Okay, and like she's one of the original anarchist tranny freaks, where they're actually very creative and weird and interesting and fun to be around. All right, like that set of the population, they're interesting, weird, liberal, but they're actually honest. They're not manipulative, evil fucks.
Okay.
So they started the thing, and then the manipulative, evil fucks infiltrated. Kessler was one of the original evil, manipulative fucks.
And then you had the weird fucks like that ketchup girl.
Yeah, it's kind of weird how all of this stuff has happened under like the Obama presidency. Like all these people have done all this like manipulation in like these past 8 years.
Yeah, there's a For Better or Worse comic, or like a series of comics, where all the high school kids decide to go have a protest against a raise in the bus prices or something like that. And the main character from the comic got caught on camera doing it. And when he got home, his parents punished him because they said, like, we just had a vote on this 3 weeks ago, and you didn't know or care about it back then. You just jumped on this bandwagon to go protest because it was interesting. That's not how democracy works, you stupid little shit. And the progressive stack is all about, this is cool, this is new, this is, oh, we're changing. It's identity politics. Oh, we have another super chat from Kaku who says, alt sense Nazis. Doesn't see dead people, he sees Nazis.
Hey, Davis, I got to bail out for a while, so thanks for having me on.
Hey, thanks for being on.
Yep.
Good luck. Yeah, honestly, I want to say that the whole white nationalists and communist thing is just here to destabilize the United States. I really think that's what it's for. You know, a lot of this stuff is just there to, encourage tribalism in the United States. Both sides have a point. There is a concern with, corporate fascism and, government bailouts and shit like that. And then there's also a concern of wanting to have identity. But, again, the concern and what their answer to the issue is the problem. I prefer American identity over, let's say European identity, because European identity makes no sense.
Yeah, because it's basically all about their solutions are irrational, illogical, and basically are going to turn the country into like a shithole, basically.
Yeah.
Like you can't create an ethno state using their solutions and not have a huge massive civil war that's basically going to destroy the entire country and stuff. And you can't implement socialism, communism without turning us into Venezuela, where everyone is starving and having mile-long bread lines.
So my question is, if this whole Charlottesville electronic bungalow starts, what will they do when? Do you think they'll move up to the how should I say it, the White House? Because it's in D.C. You know that, right? That one of these fuckers are going to go up to the White House front lawn.
Oh, of course they will. They're going to do it in they call it the National Mall, don't they?
Yeah.
Well, what's going to happen is that smash racism DC and the Democratic Socialists of America are going to show up. Antifa will show up. There'll be a huge brawl. It'll get blamed on the right. It'll get blamed on Trump, and there'll be another wave of online censorship.
Yeah. I mean,
our one saving grace is that it doesn't look like that many people will probably show up for this compared to the first one, because everyone's either been doxxed or has otherwise learned their lesson.
Yeah, you might. I mean, it might be a bit of a cop-out, but I mean, it might be also a good thing for the right to kind of like stage a counter protest to basically, I don't know, do what kind of like the American bikers do with Westboro Baptist Church, where they just kind of like surround them and kind of like have their own counter protest signs and stuff.
Now, these people are looking for affect. Okay, they want to feel like they're a character in the movie, having a big important battle in an important location like Washington, D.C. It's not important. Like, whatever happens doesn't fucking matter. It's going to be 100 idiots and another 100 idiots fisticuffing. Completely irrelevant.
Yeah, it isn't even going to be, the Battle of Normandy. It's going to be fucking Verdun. You're going to be killing each other over a pointless war. You're bleeding each other while there's no objective. What are you doing? Like, what the fuck are they doing? What is their objective? Fame? Glory? What are they doing?
I had more glory separating those two dogs than any of these idiots will ever have.
Yep. Yeah. It was a pointless war.
It's famed masculinity. Yeah, these guys never actually became men, and so they're trying to be men in the way that video games and Marvel movies taught them.
You need to play Far Cry 3. That game alone will teach you how to be a man and what it means to be a man. It will.
That is a good game. I can't play it right now because I only have one hand.
Oh boy, no, but in all honesty, they ask you what type of man are you. You have to be the warrior, but you also have to be the magician. You have to be the father as well as the lover. And right now, we have to put our swords away. Oh
yeah, keep them sharp, keep them oiled.
Yep.
But now is not the time. Listen, guys, we got the Trump victory, and Trump is actually doing really, really well. I know I'm kind of on the cynical side of Trump because I'm not a bandwagon jumper. All right? When everybody is really excited about something, I start looking for the exit. And that's just me.
There'll be some spaghetti upstairs in about 15 minutes if you're hungry.
Oh, okay.
Okay, that was not related.
In the fence,
so I'm not a bandwagon jumper. When everybody's doing one thing, I start looking in the other direction to see what's going on.
Precisely.
But Trump is kicking ass. Trump is building the wall. Trump is sorting out the government. It's really not, no, the time for swords was during the election. Now we oil them up and put them back in their sheaths, and we work on ourselves. And yeah, I have another thought that I want to share with you. That the idea of a white nationalist United States, I don't think it's going to happen. Okay?
Yeah.
50% of the whites are useless cucks. They're soy, they're weak, they're stupid. At least, more like 90%, but we're going to say 50%. Okay, like a bunch of them might be stupid, but they'd be willing to follow orders. Okay, so we'll say 50% of them are useless. Only 50% are any good, and that's nowhere near a plurality. Whereas I think the future for America, if there's a future, which there very well might not be, but if there's a future, it's going to be the whites and the Asians aligning with each other. The Asians are beginning to wake up to the fact that Democrats don't like them very much because they're too high achieving.
Yeah.
And I think, guys, if you want a future, network with Asians. Asians have a lot of the good traditions that we've lost. And they tend to lack the charisma of the whites.
Yeah, we just need to fix China. They just need to fix China first because, China's become a bit of a nuisance.
Oh, I don't, listen, I don't mean again, an Asian from China is basically our enemy, our rival. Okay, I'm talking about an Asian that's landed in America, that's abandoned China or Japan or what have you.
Yeah. Yeah, we want the Japanese because, we like their anime.
Or Koreans. I personally like the Koreans.
Yeah, but, Japanese, so many people love being weebs, so.
Well, I like playing video games, and it evens itself out. And Koreans love their video games.
Okay, seems like everyone talks about Japanese video games because that's where a lot of our video games come from.
Let's just say that the Koreans actually have anti-cheat laws, like actual laws. Like you can get caught with you can go to jail for turning on hacks in Korea.
Really?
I'm not joking. You will go to jail.
See, that's the problem I have with some East Asian countries is that they are really authoritarian with how they want to police people and stuff. It's a bit of a turnoff sometimes.
Korea is the place where people were fucking dying of exhaustion from playing video games for 30 hours straight, or 48 hours straight. Okay, I can see why they would need a law like that.
Yeah, but do they understand the concept of common sense where it's like, Be rational and stuff. Be reasonable.
Oh, keep in mind, America is the place. I was just watching this video on Facebook. America is the place where, well, Monday to Friday, 9 to 5, we have to be regular, normal people and pay all our bills on time and be boring. So on the weekends, we just like pony play. They actually get together to do pony play. All of our outfits are either made from actual tackle gear for horses or based upon it. And it's like, I can just tell when he gets into pony space.
What the fuck is pony play?
One person pretends to be a horse and the other person gets driven around by them. They put on outfits for it.
Ugh.
It's like shittiest. There. This is pony play. This is like the shittiest sex ever.
Oh yeah, I've been seeing that on Twitter.
That thing's like a fucking vision from a melatonin-infused nightmare. Holy shit.
That is disturbing. That's like, wow.
So the Asian countries got their problems. We got this problem. It's like maybe, and I was saying, we're just boring people Monday to Friday, and we just need. Maybe you shouldn't be boring Monday to Friday. Maybe you should go do something useful with your life instead of being useless Monday to Friday and being creepy Saturday and Sunday.
I'm only creepy on Saturday. On Sunday, I go and confess. No, but in all seriousness, they definitely should be more interesting. But
Like, it's interesting. It's just stupid. Like, can you like? How is this even fun? You have to pretend to be a horse owner to your partner who's pretending to be a horse.
Now we need to queue up that fucking common Philip Tumblreese's video on people who pretend to be dogs.
Oh,
Yeah,
I need to watch more of him.
Like,
Almost
like one time, I gave my girlfriend a horsey back ride to the bedroom. Okay, and she was giggling like a schoolgirl because it was ridiculous. This isn't that. These people are deadly serious about this. This is insane.
Yeah, it's almost like Americans, we have kind of the opposite problems the Asians have, where it's like we just have, I don't know, maybe too much like not caring about like ourselves and stuff, whereas the Asians kind of the opposite.
Well, they have a very altruistic, I must do this because it is expected of me. They have a very honor-based system, and I don't want to. I know that sounds kind of archetypical, but it's not question. You don't question things. I worked before with Koreans, and one of the things I learned the hard way is don't look at them in the eyes. They take offense to that. So I was fucking staring at a lot of them, and I apparently got, talked down to by HR. It's fucking weird.
Well, the ones that come here tend to adjust. I would as well.
Seems like a lot of Asians that immigrate here, it's like they just kind of want to get away from the whole strict culture, like Japan, Korea, and China.
And keep in mind, like I've pointed this out before, that the sheer number of Asian SJWs is actually proof that they acclimatize quite well to Western culture.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Like you don't see any black SJWs, or they're very, very rare. You see Black Lives Matter, but not social justice warriors. Okay?
What's the difference? Because they kind of seem to act very much alike.
Oh, the social justice warriors are more concerned with fat acceptance and not judging gay sex.
Huh, but they use the term Black Lives Matter just so much.
Oh, yeah, they support Black Lives Matter. There's a distinct flavor, a patheity to it. The Black Lives Matter, they're angry, and they're like, give me money, white man. Whereas the SJW is like, you can't judge, don't judge things, everyone's equal.
But they kind of want the same thing, where they want to establish like racially, like a very identitarian socialist system.
Oh man, Larson Halick, who you should check out on YouTube. He's got some great videos making fun of PUAs. They're hilarious. He says, I've said it before and I'll say it again. Asian social justice is 90% whining about sexual frustration. So is white social justice.
Yeah.
Social justice is all about I can't get laid. And it's like, well, if you have like Elliot Rodgers would have been a perfect candidate for social justice. I can't get laid. Have you ever approached a girl? Well, no. That's why you're not getting laid, faggot.
Well, it's not just you can't get laid. It's the fact that we are so, I want to say, balkanized as a culture in the West that I can't find a place to meet quote unquote girls, and this is me speaking strictly, that we're so balkanized. I can go into one subculture, into another subculture, into another subculture, and the only thing that we have in common is, oh, you watch MSNBC? Oh, I watch MSNBC. Oh, you like Trump? I love Trump. Awesome, and that's about it. You know, it's very, very harsh right now.
All right, I was just giving my friend this advice. I'm going to give it to you. When we meant to go out to the bar, but this broken hand kind of stopped us, even though it's Stampede Week and all the sleuths are out. When you're at the bar, when you're in a social environment, guys, you need to learn to approach women, okay? So don't have a list of standards in your head. What you do when you're at the bar is you look around and find a woman making eye contact with you, and then approach her. I mean, as long as she's not fat, okay? I'm not saying go pick up fat chicks. I'm saying don't have, well, she's a brunette, or, oh, she's Asian, I don't want to, or she's black, or shut the fuck up, go approach that woman, go flirt with her.
Well, if she's black, you might want to wear a condom, but...
Well, and guys, if you want to be a really good Christian, you don't have to close the deal. But you need to learn how to flirt. Because what you're going to do is if you have a bunch of rules in your head about what women you'll approach, then every single woman that looks at you, you're going to rationalize an excuse not to approach her when really it's just cowardice. Because, yeah, I know, we're all scared of approaching women. Do it anyway. Just walk up to her and say, hey, babe, you know, I'll be honest, I'd really like to have a shower with you.
Yeah. Well, the problem is that now everyone's like paranoid about the whole, you approach a girl and then she starts like screaming sexual harassment and then you get kicked out and stuff.
That's when you stand there and laugh and push her even harder. Honestly, what I love even more than picking up chicks is shitting on girls that are entitled. You know, like I found out a girl works in an airport and I hate airport security. So I just started shitting on her and calling her Cunty McSky Clown. And nobody ever talks shit to women. It like devastated her night. She's like, oh my, fuck you, you fucking faggot, you suck dick. Another girl was wearing a slutty outfit, which disgusted me, and she noticed that. So she came over to my table and started bopping her ass in front of my table. So I looked her in the eyes and said, I can see your HPV showing. And she's on the street, you fucking suck dick, you faggot, yeah. Oh, God. Ruining a chick's night is even better than picking her up, in my opinion.
Yeah.
And I'm getting more ice.
But yeah, if you're gonna flirt with a black chick, be sure to have condoms.
With respect, you know, my main issue, at least when it comes to me, is that I don't want to, like, I don't think that, I think that the way that the culture is set up, people are not invested in a long-term they're more programmed for wham bam thank you ma'am, as opposed to you know, hey, you know, let's hang out, let's talk, hey, maybe we'll meet again sometime. They're not interested in that. They just want to have sex, and I don't want to do that personally. So, well,
go flirt with them anyway.
I can't. I mean, I can, but I don't think it's right. I don't think it's ethical.
Yeah, it's ethical. It's fun.
Well, it is fun. I will give you that, but I don't think it's ethical to play with people's hearts like that. I don't think. Would you like to
playing with people's hearts any more than setting up 5 websites to sell 5 different shirts that don't actually exist, but seeing which website gets the most clicks? That's not unethical. That's testing the marketplace for what is out there. And going up and flirting with chicks, you're not breaking anybody's heart. You're not lying to anybody. You're just flirting with people. It's all about misdirection. You're practicing your skills. You're getting yourself out there. And it's fun.
Okay.
People like being flirted with, even if it doesn't go anywhere.
Well, I mean, if you're going to play that card, can we argue then that what's the difference between flirting and, you know, teasing? None, based on what you're telling me.
I love teasing. Sometimes my girlfriend demonstrates her bench press technique while nude.
Okay. Anyhow. But there is an issue when it comes to, you know, bonding with people, at least in this culture right now. You have to have commonalities. And right now, I just got paid and I'm trying to figure out what the hell I want to do. Yeah.
I'll also say there's a certain amount of you got to trust in the Lord, okay? But you got to be out there, and you know what? Maybe you're going to be flirting with a girl that you think she's just looking for a one-night stand. Maybe you don't think it's anything, but you really wind up making a connection with her.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just today. It's so many people want very superficial connections and stuff. Like if you go on some dating website, some of the descriptions for some of the girls are like really, I don't know. They want you basically to believe everything that they believe in and stuff.
Yeah, I'm not really in. I haven't dated for a long time, so it's hard to say. But yeah, I don't think the dating sites are working very well right now.
They aren't honestly.
Because everybody's looking for the perfect match. Honestly, you don't know what the perfect match is until you find it.
Yeah,
they're mostly they're dead. I'll tell you that. Like I went to Catholic Singles, what have you. No one's on. There are a bunch of dead accounts. Again, and it's really hard because guess what? When you have a niche, like let's say you're basing off of conservatism, your ideology, your skin tone, all these different things, whittle it down to next to nothing. To the point where there's like 1 or 5 matches within your vicinity.
Well, and these aren't really the important things either.
No, they're not. But at the same time, I mean, compatibility with your partner should not be based merely on aesthetics, but should also be based on your values. And no one has values outside of did the Niners win? Oh, did the football?
Well, yeah.
And we just had Echo Charlie Leon join. How's it going, brother?
What's up?
It barely coming through. Speak again.
Guys got like going in and out. I think it's my connection.
Oh, what are your thoughts?
Well, can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you now.
Yeah. But also it's just like normal dating websites, they tend to have a lot of SJWs on them.
My advice to those guys out there who are brave enough or actually want to get shit done, go and meet people in meet space. I guarantee you they're just as awkward as you are.
Well, I'll tell you like one thing. I have found like church is a terrible place to meet women. I just don't see any young women at church. Now, no young single women either. Anyway.
Yeah, I agree.
Plenty of married,
pregnant
women, but no young single women at church. Look into hiking groups. Go to meetup.com.
Yeah.
Find activities worth doing and go do those. And yeah, go talk to women. Go flirt with the old woman at the checkout counter, okay? You're obviously not trying to have sex with her, but it's still flirting. Flirting's just fun.
Wow.
And if you see a woman making eye contact with you across the room, go over and speak with her.
And don't listen to these retards who are like, good girls, don't, you're just looking for bar shots and blah. I love that particular argument from these idiots. It's like, good girls don't go to bars. You know, small town girls don't go to bars. Like, have you people ever been to like one of those little splat small towns in like North Dakota or wherever? The bars, everyone goes to the bar there because it's the only place where you can actually, the only place that's a public space, okay? It's the bar, the church, and if you're lucky, the public library.
And you learn a little bit of misdirection. Like I was saying to the bartendress, a few weeks back, I like looked her up and down when she came over and said, "I like the yoga pants."
I used to work in a bar as a bar back, so I've seen some shit. Yeah.
I like to perform magic for some of these chicks. I think bar tricks are always fun also. And it's a great way to start conversations with some of these chicks. Like if you could win bar bets and stuff and you could explain to them, it's a great way to to have a conversation starter. So like bet $5 if they can, pick a like if they could somehow, get all the liquid of, let's say, alcohol into the glass and you show them how it's done at the end of the day. you light like a straw, and then you put a glass cup over it, and it absorbs in the alcohol because of the atmospheric pressure and shit like that. They love that one.
And have good stories to tell.
That's a huge strength of Davis. I used to talk a lot of girls. That's what, because I have so much stories to tell because I used to work at a bar. So I always say, I just think that I just pull something back in the back of my head, and it's just like one big thing and one thing other. And I rarely get it any time to tell a little bit episodic, because some of the guys I see come back and forth, so they become a little legend in my bar.
You have to have stories, and that's.
Wait, I gotta ask you guys, how many people have the ability to still tell stories?
Oh, I have the ability to do it. I just don't think it's going to be coherent, so to speak. And even then, the problem with me is most of my stories are confidential, and I can't exactly, I have a lot of shit to say, but most of it's circumstantial. I have nothing to show for it. I have scars, but not in the places I could show.
Yeah, I can tell. I could tell a story, but a lot of times when I'm at a bar, I'm just drunk and stuff.
Fictionalize it.
Yeah.
Yes, fictionalize it.
Like,
could be something that you can pull off.
Las Vegas. Everything in Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas more or less happened, but not in the exact time scale that he put together. Like, when you come up with a really good story from your life, you got to fictionalize it a little bit. Not lying. Not I beat up 30, white knights at the club like Little Dark. Okay, but you fictionalize
stretch the truth
a little bit. Maybe you combine two people into one person because it's simpler to tell the story, right? And you come up with a good 5-minute story that keeps people entertained.
Yeah, you got to stretch the truth. Don't be afraid to expose yourself. Or you are the main character of that story, regardless.
Exactly. Nobody wants to hear about something your buddy did.
Oh, with me? Okay, so let me think. So yeah. Well, it's just to stretch my story. So it's like about 2 a.m. I'm playing PlayStation. I get a fucking call from my cousin, and it's just like say, "Yo, dude, I need you to meet me 10 blocks down the fucking street." It's like, what the fuck is going on? Apparently, he was been running around with a fucking sprained ankle, and it's like about 6 drinks of whiskey. So I had to carry this fucking idiot around the block back to the apartment while he's just screaming obscenities to Polish people.
That sounds interesting.
Oh, who is it? Kim Nielsen asks, is that how the HPV story evolved, Davis? See, there's some things I leave out of the HPV story. For instance, there were kind of 2 incidences. Okay, we were sitting in the bar just trying to eat our dinner. We actually had some expensive video equipment with us. So when she came over and did the butt dance, I looked at her and said, your HPV is showing. She screamed at us, and my buddy kind of touched me. It's like, we've got expensive shit. We don't want her damaging it. So I'm like, yeah. It's like, whatever. It's like, do I need to call the bartender to get you to leave me alone? Then she fucked off. And then she was yelling at us when we left the bar. Like, I leave that part. Like, it doesn't detract anything from the story for leaving it out. But it doesn't add anything to the story to mention every single detail that, like this happened. For the record, the dogfight story, that's basically every detail I remember. Oh, yeah, the one, then when I get inside, because the ambulance was called, I pull the knife out of my pocket and throw it onto the couch, because I don't want to deal with ambos or cops when I have a knife on me. So again, if this is, this actually goes back to that like non-violence is harder than violence. Okay, like if the 2 dogs been attacking me, I would have pulled out my knife, stabbed both of them. I'd probably have some puncture wounds on my forearm, but you put some polysporin on that, tape it up, you're all good. Wouldn't have any broken fingers. But because they were attacking each other and I was trying to separate the 2 because I like both the dogs, yeah, that's how I get the broken fingers.
Yeah, I agree.
That's what I looked like when the ambos showed up. But I was almost passing out at that point. I was like the adrenaline crash and the loss of blood, and also the physical exhaustion, because I'd just come back from the gym when all of this went down. And when you're in a fight, your body cranks everything up to the red line. Everything goes to 11, and it's like running a freaking marathon. So I was zoning in and out of consciousness, just barely holding myself conscious when this was happening. Thank God my buddy was there to help me with all of this. And yeah, my middle finger is just kind of sagging. It was actually glued to my ring finger with blood for most of the time, and I just kind of left it like that because it was keeping it more or less stable. Good times, man. Good times. There's still blood splattered all over the front step. Thank you. I like those. They asked me if I had cuts on my legs. I said, look at the boots. Do you think I have any cuts on my legs? They are very thick leather.
Boots are the only way to go, ladies and gentlemen. When it comes to like actual worthwhile, I could do anything with these type of shoes. Boots.
So get this. I got you guys one. It's from it's another bar story from one of my bartenders. He called it the Father's Day Massacre. So 6 years old, it was his father decides to go with a bike ride with him, and there's a brand new little bike that he bought him. Okay, so on this bike ride, this guy was like how old was he? Like 35-year-old Italian meathead, hits the fucking gym a lot. All right, and for some reason, a black guy gets it as attention. So he starts barking back at him and starts to proceed to beat the shit out of him. So, and then his girl right next to him pulls a knife, he grabs the knife, tosses it away, and just throws it. And all of a sudden, he starts running with his kid with the bike over his shoulder. Then he decides to say, Junior, that's what he calls him. So he said, Junior, hold the bike. Then it's just one thing after another. It's one fight after another. It's like some being just chased down. Eventually, he just tossed the bike in front of us over the bridge. And then the brand new bike. Then they finally got back home on foot. And his father just screamed and said, Junior, from now on, today will be known as the Father's Day Massacre.
Ooh, damn.
Oh, by the way, guys, let me tell you. Oh, sorry. Finish your story.
No, that's what I'm trying to recollect what he said. He was like, apparently he just beat down 6 different guys or running away. It didn't start with the black couple. That was the funny thing. I don't know how the hell he proceeded to beat some down the road, and then he beat some other dude up, and then running away from that, then he beat some other dude down.
I can't tell you guys how awesome it felt going to the hospital, and they put me on this nice, comfy stretcher, and I'm just laying back there, all like it was a comfy stretcher, man. And then the nurses come and they're cleaning my wounds and stitching them up, injecting me with painkillers. I'm like, this is so awesome. I deserve this. I earned this. I'm getting treated like a baby right now, and I love it. Even the people in the needles. I love it. Then they put the opiates in it, like, hey, these are okay. It was a good time. Now, but I probably should have got the hose out and sprayed the dogs down.
Yeah, you should have. Honestly, that was something that I would have done.
What can I say? I've got the infantry instincts, charge towards the ambush. Something stupid is going down, I run towards it. It was
So Davis, you didn't, when they're rolling around in the hospital, they were carrying a scanner gun.
Sorry, say it again.
So that's what they do. With everything you touch, they scan it, and it's a charge. And so the insurance company negotiates the price of whatever the hell you touch, be the opioids, the pillows, whatever the fuck you touched on your little trip, they scan it.
Canadian healthcare, man. Now, the day after my surgery, then I got the other side of Canadian healthcare. Well, actually, I guess I did it this day. I didn't actually get surgery until a day after it happened. So for one day, my hand was in a cast with my fingers at completely the wrong angle. But, I didn't pay for anything.
Well, that's the whole point. You're not supposed to pay everything, especially if you have private health insurance. That's what I was being told. That all they do is that so if you go through the ER for some reason, you're being, I don't know, you're just cartwheeled everywhere, and then they're just scanning price, and then they send the bill to the health insurance company, and they call them back, say, we don't like this price, knock it down. It's just back and forth between until they agree on a price that the health insurance pays us. Then you get a call from them. It's just like, all right, we're gonna raise up your insurance, depending on what the hell just happened to you, how much it costs them.
So, what are you going to be doing for work now? Do you like workman's comp or something, Davis?
Well, no workers' comp because it wasn't on the job. And by the way, I just sent Luke a picture of my dog looking like an asshole.
This will be good. Let me get a beer real quick.
She actually got fairly injured in the fight, so she hasn't been as eager to fight, which I enjoy. Well, like I said earlier, I'm going to see if there's, a possibility of moving forward with the whole YouTube thing. Because the blood sports is really, it's been like a fire in an old growth forest, killing off the things that need to be killed off. So, maybe I make some really good viral videos. We'll see what happens with all of that. And I also have, I can't talk about it, but there's another thing I'm looking at involved with a few buddies. A very plausible business that needs somebody with my talents. But you know what? The construction has been completely anemic. So like this, it was making me enough money I couldn't quit, but it wasn't making me good money. So yeah. I have a number of puncture wounds in my arm thanks to that stupid dog.
That's a very, very, looks like an orcish dog almost.
How long will the fingers take to heal?
Cassie, are you orcish?
Oh, what do they call them? Wargs in the film? Wargs?
Wargs?
Yeah, wargs.
Those
fucking those lion-like dogs in the fucking
hyenas.
movie.
Yeah.
Yes. Wargs. Base warg.
It looks like it has fangs. Those things are. It looks creepy as hell. Holy shit. The pagan Hitherthune Urukai, yes, the Urukai. It does look like an Urukai.
I think she's actually a mix of German Shepherd and Blue Heeler. It fits the personality. Both are very sarcastic, and she's a very sarcastic dog. Very intelligent, but seldom listens to me. At the same time, she won't eat bacon I leave on the counter. Like, she respects me, she follows me, just doesn't always listen to me.
So it's a little seasoned with sass.
And she doesn't start fights with dogs, but if a dog is being ornery, she will provoke it until it starts a fight with her. And then she'll usually win the fight. Yeah, Space Dog, you're trouble. No wonder you got returned to the pound 3 times.
It makes the other dogs horny.
She's a mama dog.
Yes.
Yeah, and the other dog is huge and wolf-like.
Probably is a wolf, given your given the circumstances in the area that you're in.
Well, it's a Malamute, so it's half wolf.
So it's like Baldo then. I don't know if anyone knows that fucking reference. But anyway, yeah, half wolf dog. Those things are wild.
I might have a picture of it.
Oh, Do you have a picture? I'd like to see it.
I wonder if that influences their psychology. You know how to, the domination factor. It's completely different with dogs and wolves. Well, wolves have a particular hierarchy they have to establish. Like the alpha wolf gets the first dibs and eats the liver, where everyone else is a little bit goes down the chain, and the omegas basically don't get anything, probably just bits of hair or just bits of bones.
There we go. Here's a picture of the other dog. Sending it to Luke right now. So yeah, they're both very alpha dogs. My dog insists on being the alpha. Oh, I should say the beta. I'm the alpha. She follows me, but she needs to dominate every other dog she meets.
Well, that does make sense. The liver is more nutrient rich. It has more vitamin C and shit like that. Probably why the alphas have more of a better coat.
Exactly.
Makes sense.
That's all the essential oils, all fat. Right, the liver is where everything's at. Where probably secondary to that would be the heart. Then the rest is just just a little bit garbage right there.
All right, so yeah, those are the two dogs that I had to separate.
That's a big dog. It's a husky.
Yeah. Like I said, mine's 90 pounds. It's about 120, 130. And, thank goodness dogs have tougher skin than we do. They were really mauling each other, but there's not too much damage done to either of them.
It looks like a husky, not a Malamute. I don't know if that's the same thing.
Well, Malamute is like half husky, half wolf or something like that.
Malamutes are bigger than huskies.
Yeah, it's very large.
Oh, yeah, I see the comparison now. Yeah, one is way bigger. One looks like a fucking, what the hell they call it? Not the were dogs, the dire wolves. Yeah, those actually existed back in the day.
Yeah, they did.
Yeah. So you fought a dire wolf then?
A dire wolf and a German shepherd.
Holy shit.
Dire wolf broke my...
Between huskies and mastiffs, they had the big dog gene.
It was a good time was had by all.
Yep. That's good.
How fast?
Well, folks, I think we're kind of out of material. And honestly, guys, I am really exhausted. I've been taking a lot of naps since this happened. I'm healing up still. And like I said, I'm kind of doped up on opiates right now. And whiskey. I hope this has been a good podcast. I don't really know if it was or not. I think we had some good conversations, and God bless every single one of you that was listening. Once again, I'm going to repeat the title. Guys, bones heal, chicks dig scars, and glory is forever. So, go out there, approach the girl. Walk up, go look around. If a girl looking at you, go talk to her. Okay, that's how girls indicate they want you to talk to her. They look at you. They give you the bedroom eyes. Go approach that girl. Go talk to her. See what happens. You don't know. Go do something interesting so you have a story to tell at the end of the day. Thanks to everybody that's been on. God bless every one of you. Go check out Matt Forney's terrorhousemag.com. Go check that shit out. It's good stuff.
Yes.
Thanks to everybody for the well wishes and the prayers. I do seem like my fingers are back in the right position. Okay, so I looked at them before the casket. I did not look while the surgeon was doing all the magic stuff to my hand. Okay, I was trying very hard not to look at it. But at the end, my fingers were back into the normal position. So it seems pretty good. Guys, Deus Volt, God bless every single one of you. This is Aurini out.